Think back to when you were a kid. Before GPS, before the internet could answer almost any question in seconds, before every corner of the world felt photographed and documented. Back then, it felt like anything was possible. You could stare at an old map and honestly believe it led to a hidden city. An abandoned building wasn't just an abandoned building, it was a mystery. A dusty old book might contain the clue to an adventure no one else had ever found. That's exactly the feeling Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark captures. It doesn't just tell you there's an adventure out there, it makes you believe it. The movie opens deep in the jungle, and before anyone explains what's happening, you're already hooked. Every sound matters, every shadow feels dangerous. You don't know what's waiting around the next corner, and honestly, neither does Indiana Jones. That's what makes it exciting. He's not walking into a place where he has all the answers. He's walking into history itself. And somehow, you can't wait to follow him. What makes Indiana Jones such an unforgettable hero isn't that he always has a plan. It's that when the plan falls apart, he finds another way. When he's ambushed in Nepal while searching for the headpiece to the Staff of Ra, he doesn't panic. Alongside Marion Ravenwood, he survives a fiery battle that destroys her tavern and sends them on a journey neither of them can escape. Their relationship isn't perfect. They argue, challenge one another, and carry the weight of an unfinished past. But that history between them makes every scene feel honest. Throughout the film, Indiana is constantly being knocked down. He gets trapped inside the Well of Souls, surrounded by snakes. He's buried beneath centuries of history, with seemingly no way out. Later, he clings to the side of a speeding truck in one of the most thrilling chase sequences ever filmed, refusing to let the Ark disappear into the wrong hands. Everyone in this story wants the Ark of the Covenant, but no one wants it for the same reason. To Indiana, it's one of history's greatest discoveries, a sacred object that belongs in a museum, preserved for future generations to study and respect. To others, it represents power, conquest, and control. They believe that if they possess it, they can command forces far greater than themselves. That misunderstanding becomes the heart of the film. The Ark isn't something to be owned. It's something to be respected. The deeper Indiana travels into the mystery, the more he realizes that history isn't simply waiting to be claimed. Some relics carry a weight that can't be measured by money or military strength. The film reminds us that curiosity without humility can become dangerous. One of my favorite scenes isn't an action sequence at all. It's when Indiana and Sala use the Staff of Ra to reveal the true location of the Well of Souls. As the morning sunlight passes through the crystal headpiece, a single beam of light points towards the hidden resting place of the Ark. It's a quiet moment, but it's unforgettable, because it's not about explosions or danger. It's about discovery. It's the reward for patience, knowledge, and believing that ancient mysteries still have something to teach us. Moments like that remind us why archaeology fascinated so many people after this movie came out. It's not about digging in the dirt. It's about uncovering stories that time almost erased. Most adventure movies end with the hero claiming the treasure. Raiders of the Lost Ark chooses something much more powerful. When the Ark is finally opened, Indiana understands that this isn't something human beings can control. He tells Marion to close her eyes and not look, trusting that some mysteries demand faith rather than understanding. It's one of the film's most haunting moments. Without violence or revenge from Indiana himself, the story reminds us that there are forces beyond human ambition. Those who sought the Ark only for power discovered that some things can't be possessed without consequences. Indiana survives, not because he's stronger than everyone else. He survives because he finally understands that respect is sometimes greater than knowledge. Decades later, Raiders of the Lost Ark still feels like an invitation, not just to revisit Indiana Jones, but to rediscover the part of ourselves that never stopped wondering what might be hidden beyond the next mountain or beneath the next layer of history. It reminds us what it felt like to imagine secret passageways behind old walls, to believe forgotten civilizations still had stories left to tell, to think that somewhere in the world there was still a mystery waiting for someone curious enough to find it. That's why this movie never grows old. The golden idol, the map room, the snakes in the Well of Souls, the truck chase, the opening of the Ark. These moments aren't simply unforgettable scenes. Together, they tell a much bigger story. A story about curiosity, courage, humility, and the endless desire to understand the world that came before us. Maybe that's why Indiana Jones still feels like one of cinema's greatest heroes. He isn't chasing treasure because he wants to become famous. He's chasing answers because he believes every forgotten artifact has a story worth protecting. And when the movie ends with the Ark disappearing into an enormous government warehouse, tucked away among countless unseen crates, it leaves us with one final thought. The greatest mysteries are never completely solved. Some are simply waiting for the next curious soul to begin the journey again.